This is Miguel Lozada, and welcome to the 52. This week has been kind of an off week for me. Had some things going on personally, and then just life as usual. But the biggest thing is I have a leg injury, right? So I've had a lot of time to just sit around and really not do much, which usually sounds great, but the fact that I just can't relax and there's some pain and then discomfort, and on top of that, I'm really not doing things I like to do, like play video games nonstop, right? I'm trying to actually rest it. I've been taking, I've it sounds horrible, but I've actually like taken a few naps like at the end of my day. Um, Typically like around 4 or 5, I noticed just at the end of my day, I'm like, all right, I'm taking a nap. But we're gonna talk about something, and I think it's something that a lot of people use to probably just avoid accountability, right? So instead of being accountable, they use this, and it's entitlement. So a lot of people feel entitled to things, and I realized it's just all over, right? In my personal life, professional life, I see it everywhere, right? Let's take for example, X YouTuber gets invited to do this. You see a whole bunch of other YouTubers on Twitter talk about like, why did they deserve it? I deserve it. I have way more views, blah blah blah. It's all entitlement. Realistically, no matter what, nobody owes you anything unless you directly agreed to it, right? So I feel like a lot of people just feel entitled to things right off the bat just because they can. And to me, it's a crazy concept because I feel like that's just a way to mask like being held accountable for things. And let's take the YouTube creators, for instance, right? It's really realistically your job to talk to companies, line up these type of things, exclusive footage, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of weird that a lot of content creators just sit back and never write an email, never contact anybody. But the moment they're not added to something or not invited to something, they are furious. It's like, I should have been invited without ever even talking to somebody. I think it's not even I think, I know that's 100% the wrong way to go about things. If you want to be a part of something, if you want to be invited to things, you should go out there and seek it and talk to somebody. I mean, it's really it's only affecting you, and realistically, if you're just sitting around hoping it just lands in your lap, that's not the way life is going to work. Maybe it's worked that way for you for other things, but realistically overall, it's a form of laziness. So it's lazy and entitled at that point, right? It's you're not even, there's no accountability to you being like, hey, I didn't get invited to this event because I didn't email the person I already have a contact with. Because most chances are you probably already know who it is, or you worked with them, or you found out eventually, right? Even if it's the first time you found out, you shouldn't even be mad. You should be like, all right, well, I know this person else in charge of this event because this everybody's talking about this person or thinking this person or hanging out with this person this week because they work at Activision or Blizzard or EA. So now you have a form, somebody you could contact, right? Hit them up on Twitter. Hey, can I DM you, or can I get an email to inquire about some things, and then take it from that point. Don't expect for this to be handled in DMs. Also, I've seen a lot of content creators tell me that they reach out to CMs, try to get things figured out in DMs, and while it is a way to communicate, you're not really gonna get onto like event lists that way. There might be some CMs that work that way, and that's great. But I would always just go towards emails. Like, hey, is there an email chain? Blah blah. That's more professional. It's separated from Twitter, right? Where Twitter, they could be flooded with requests, flooded with a whole bunch of things, flooded with questions, requests for codes, hookups. At email, though, they're gonna take a look at every single one. My DMs personally, sometimes product launches or something gets restocked or something, or even just randomly, my DMs will blow up and I'll have 50 in a day, and I just can't get to them. There's realistically no way. My priority is my email, to be honest, and I think that's the norm in the industry. So you should probably always just ask for email, right? And I get to my DMs. It's just, again, if I have 100 unread emails and 40 unread DMs that day, I'm getting to the emails first, and I'll get to the DMs when I can. I do glance over them, like glance at the first few letters. So if it's like help broken, okay, I click on that one. They have a broken product, or if it seems urgent from the first few lines, I'll click on it right away. But if it just starts off with, hey, I would like to know, okay, that is not 100% urgent at the time. I need to get to my email first, got to do my meetings, and then I'll get to my DMs. So, and then a lot of people realistically know that if they have a really urgent matter, they'll, just tweet me, hey man, my HT60 broke, can you help me out? and then I'll see that and I'm like, okay, let me reach out to them via email or DMs. And usually my DM to them is like, hey, email me here and I can sort this out for you. So email is 100% key, I think. Just the norm, I think, right? But again, going back to entitlement, like entitlement, just I think I see it all over the place. I see it in my personal life. I see some family members feeling entitled, and I feel like entitlement's such an easy way to just be lazy and then get rid of being held accountable, right? And you should really just be holding yourself accountable, and then you will be able to just flourish from that point, right? I feel like you holding yourself accountable gives you control of your life, right? Like you know what you should or shouldn't be doing. So any outcomes that don't happen, it's on you and you have nobody to blame but yourself and you can better that. Versus being like, hey, I'm X YouTuber, I should have been invited to this, blah, blah, blah. That's you literally all you did was complain, and at that point you're probably hurting your chances for anything, right? And again, this is just universal. This isn't just towards YouTube content creators. This is just universal in life. It might just be you and a coworker work just as hard, do everything the same, but he's a little bit more vocal, a little bit more, he held himself accountable, maybe he's on time a little bit about things, that maybe just little certain things, right? He gets a promotion or a bonus and you don't, and then you feel entitled because you're like, hey, I worked just as hard as that guy, what happened? Again, did you communicate anything, any needs or wants to be promoted? Not only that, did you also perform that way? Did you hold yourself accountable? You don't do reports that are due on Friday on time at noon. Usually you don't get them until 2. Little things like that kind of sort of affect things. And if you just feel like, oh, I've been here for 5 years, I'm entitled to it, the promotion anyways, I don't need to work towards it, I've already been here for 5 years, that's probably not the way it's going to work out. It's going to work out for the guy that goes, okay, let me make sure I have all my things lined up. Let me make sure I'm doing my work correctly. Let me also, when I talk to my boss about this, have some valid points on why I feel like I should be awarded this promotion or bonus and go from that point. He's holding himself accountable when he's not doing things he should. He's probably staying on top of it. And for himself, he's taking it within himself to talk to the person, right? So again, it could be various different things. Just entitlement is just really weird without communication. I just think it's a weird form of laziness. It's like an excuse for laziness, realistically. If people just feel like, no, I'm entitled to this, or no, I should just get this, but you really don't work towards it, and there's really no effort put in behind it, you just feel like you're entitled to it for whatever reason. Maybe that's the way you're raised, or maybe that's the way you think, or maybe that's the way social media and society makes you think right now. It's not really the way, right? Like, that's like me saying like, hey, I deserve 1 million listens at every episode. What's going on here, guys? Like, come on. But I don't even put on an episode, or realistically, I don't promote my podcast that much as I should. I'm going to change that. And even today, instead of a vlog, I'm just doing the podcast as the vlog upload for the channel today, just because I felt really strong about this. I didn't want any visuals taken away from this, nothing. Just entitlement and laziness go hand in hand. Just be, accountable for the things you need to do, So let's say you are a Call of Duty YouTuber and you want to be at the next Call of Duty event. So what you have to do is, one, you have to be making YouTube videos on Call of Duty, right? You can't be doing Fortnite nonstop right now and then just expect to be invited to a Call of Duty event, right? So then that's step 1. Hold yourself accountable, do the work. Step 2 would be stop feeling so entitled. Just talk to somebody, figure out who the CM is, who's the event person, talk to that person, see what you could do, and also come at them with a plan, right? Come at them with a plan, not just, hey, I should be invited because I have this many subs. You should be more convincing than that. You should literally lay out a plan. Hey, I would love to come to a community event. Getting footage early will give me access to do this, and this type of video, and it would give me a chance to do this, and this type of series, or give me a head start on this, and type of series. And I'm hoping to educate people about this, and this. And even if you don't know, right? Let's say they haven't given them that much info, right? Call of Duty, the beta's been out, so you can say you want to break down every class or specialist or every ability, whatever the case may be, every kill streak. But you could also just give them, like, I would love early information so I can educate the community about new things, yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to give you guys the 100%, but that's just the gist, right? Like if you literally get that type of message across, you're probably going to get a response you will probably appreciate. You probably get invited to something. They'll probably say, hey, we'd love to have had you, in 2 weeks, but we're already booked up. But next time for the DLC, I'm definitely going to keep you in mind. Keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing. Don't ever be discouraged by a no either. You really don't lose anything out of it, right? So asking and getting a no should not even affect you because you didn't lose something you had, right? Like you thought you were supposed to have that, but if you don't get it, then it is what it is. Again, don't let entitlement, don't make that mindset make you worse or lazier or just not as effective because you get a no and you're like, oh, I should have gotten the yes. I got way more views and subs than half the people they're inviting. That shouldn't be your mindset at that point. You should just hold yourself accountable. Be like, all right, well, I should have done this a little bit earlier. So I'm going to stay on top of this for the next DLC or for the next release or for the next game. And I'm going to keep pushing, keep trying to thrive myself and be a little bit better and go from that point. So yeah, entitlement is just a form of laziness and it's just a way for you to get out your responsibilities and holding yourself accountable, and it's totally not going to get you or help you in life. I don't know one person that just walked around unless they just were born into so much wealth, but out of normal people, everyday people, I don't think one person can walk around with so much entitlement and actually get what they want. I think the opposite, you attract the opposite. When you, even let's say you are working a job and you're saying, hey, I want to get a better job, and you just think you're entitled to it versus actually going after it, learning, figuring out how you can get it. The person that's actually same situation as you, but they have a different mindset saying, hey, I'm going to learn, I'm going to try, I'm going to do what I can, I'm going to grind, they're going to get that better job or whatever the case may be versus you, because you just think you already, just that mindset. When people get a taste of that mindset, it's not a good thing, right? When somebody feels like you are just coming to them and expecting something because they're entitled to it, or because you're entitled to it and they should just give it to you because of that, that's probably not going to go over well at all. But yeah, those are my thoughts, just some quick thoughts. I could probably ramble about this for another hour, but I'm going to go ahead and let you guys reflect on that. Is there anything you probably feel entitled to that you probably shouldn't be? Or even if you are, I guess, entitled to it in whatever shape or form, maybe you could change your view on it and maybe show more appreciation, and maybe that part of your life can flourish a little bit. Something I've done some reflecting on and something I want to do as well. Just in different, various parts of my life, feel like I should show more appreciation than just taking things for granted and realizing that, and this is crazy because it's all from like not being able to run and everything, right? Like losing my leg. I'm like, man, if I would actually lose my whole leg, my life would be completely different. Like I couldn't play with my son. I couldn't do this. I would be stuck in a wheelchair. And it's funny because, to be honest, I'm really a stay-at-home body. I could actually stay at home all the time, but this past week has been a little bit tough because I haven't been able to do the things I normally do, which requires me to be out and about and on my feet a lot. It made me realize that maybe I appreciate going out a little bit more than I actually do, right? So take it easy, guys. Have a good weekend. Make sure you guys subscribe and download the podcast and check out other episodes as well. Take it easy, guys. Get out.